I'm back. I am so excited to be back in front of the camera. I have not recorded a video in almost 2 months, which is just like wild to me because I just started making these videos at the beginning of the year, but I loved it so much. And honestly, life has just it's been a little crazy for the past 2 months. So if you've kept up with my channel at all, then you know that moving to Chicago was the big life milestone that I kind of left off on. My last video, I was living at home for about a month and a half, getting ready to move to Chicago, and I am happy to say I've made it. I am in Chicago. This is my new apartment, my little studio. I love her so much. She is exactly how I wanted her to be. Fun, bright, light, airy, colorful, dopamine decor, okay? I love it. I will say that moving to Chicago has also been an insanely big life change, like bigger than I think I was even expecting. And I thought that I was preparing myself really well. I thought that I was being really honest with myself about what it was gonna be like. And now that I'm here and I've experienced it for about a month and a half, it's a bigger change than I was anticipating. I had a very, very comfortable, easygoing life in Atlanta, socially, work-wise, everything else. Like, life was just easy there. I had been there for so long. I was so comfortable there. And moving here, I have been wildly uncomfortable from day one. Which is exactly what I wanted, and it's exactly what I was seeking. I wanted to be really uncomfortable in life because I feel like I've been so comfortable for so long. I was so inside of my comfort zone, and I wanted to get so far outside of my comfort zone, and I'm here to say I made that happen. I am outside of my comfort zone. I think the biggest thing has been the kind of social change for me. I had like such a good, solid friend group that I had had for like nearly 10 years in Atlanta. Like, my social life was easygoing. I always had something to do. I always had someone to hang out with. I had an incredible group of girlfriends. Like, I was good. I was super comfortable and I could just be myself, and I didn't always have to be on 24/7. And moving here, I just feel like I'm always trying to do something. I'm always trying to meet someone. I always feel like I need to be out and about and active and, you know, not be inside of my apartment, and which is all really good. That's good for me. That's good to be out and about. It's good to be socializing. It's good to be pushing myself and meeting new people and all of those things. But it's also freaking exhausting. It is exhausting to be on 24/7. And I don't think I anticipated how big of an adjustment that was going to be for me. So it's been a lot, and I think that's why I took a little break from making videos. I think I was just super in my head, and I think I knew that I was gonna get to a point where I was ready to make videos again, and I didn't want to force it, and I wanted to have some really good things to talk about, and I feel like I'm there. I feel like I got some good stuff coming for you, so I'm excited about that. I think probably my favorite thing so far about this city is, and it might seem small, but like, I live in a super walkable city. I've never lived in a city. I don't have my car here, first of all. Like, I literally don't have a car, which is crazy. I never thought that I like would not have a car where I was living, but I walk everywhere. I mean, I ride transit a lot too, but I walk everywhere, and I can't even like begin to explain how good that has been for my mental health. I mean, I am just constantly being active. I take so many steps in a day. Like, I average 15, 20,000 steps in a day, like easy. Easy peasy. I gotta walk to the grocery store. I gotta walk to make returns. I gotta walk the dog. I'm just always walking. I walk to dinner. I walk home from dinner. I walk to the bars. I don't always walk home from the bars because that's not the smartest decision in the world. But if I'm close enough, I'll walk home from the bars. Like, I'm just walking and moving and active all the time. And I don't think I realized how much that was going to positively affect me. It's really, really, really good for my mental health to be in this city. I also just freaking love the neighborhood that I'm in. One, I feel super safe over here, but two, it's just such like a residential, beautiful area of the city. Gorgeous brownstones on every street. I'm near parks, I'm near the water. It's gorgeous every time I go outside. I will say though, it is starting to get cold and there is no amount of preparation I could possibly do that is going to get me ready for what winter is going to be like. It is going to ruin me, and I know it. But I truly do believe that the key to me surviving a winter is one, dressing properly, and I've begun to accumulate clothes to make that happen. But two, I think it's all about perspective, right? I think that I have to keep my perspective in a positive light when it comes to wintertime and fight off the seasonal depression and keep myself active and not let it get to my head. And I think that's going to be tough, but I'm excited for the challenge. So far so good. I've really, really, really enjoyed this city. I've like fallen in love with this city, which is awesome. But again, that's not to say that it's not been really, really hard. Making friends is way harder than I anticipated. And I'm gonna make a whole video about making friends in a new city and kind of what my experience has been and what my tips and tricks are and what's worked for me and what hasn't worked for me. I'm gonna make a whole video about that and I will link it once I drop it. But all I'm gonna say on that topic for now is that it is way harder than I thought it was gonna be, and I resonate with everyone that also is struggling to make friends as an adult, struggling to make friends in a new city, struggling to find connection with other people their age. I resonate with you big time. This is the first time I've ever like experienced this or gone through this in my life, and it is really tough. And I don't want people to think that they should feel alone in feeling that way. It is really hard. Finding friends is really hard. Maintaining friends is really hard. It's tough. So I'm gonna make a whole video about that, but I hear you, I see you, I resonate with you. I am in the same boat as you. Like I said, I think that I kind of took a break from making these videos because I got in my head a little bit. I was kind of, I don't know, I feel like I started to sense myself getting into a rut, right? Like I was just waking up, doing life, going to sleep, repeat. Waking up, going to work, taking care of the dog, working out, going to sleep. Waking up, going to work, taking care of the dog, going to sleep. Like it just felt like every day was kind of the same, even though I'm in a new city and I'm doing new things. Like it was just kind of the same all the time. And I kind of came to the conclusion that the problem was that I wasn't being creative at all. And it kind of got me thinking about creativity and like what that means. And I think sometimes people think that creativity means artsy, means that you're making content or you're making music or you're taking photos or making clothes or whatever it may be, the quote unquote classic forms of creativity, right? Creativity is so much bigger than the arts. Like creativity can mean so many different things for so many different people. And I think creativity for me is doing something that brings me joy, that like lights me up inside, that I get excited about, that's different from kind of my everyday life routine that I just have to do because I have to survive in life, right? Like I have to go to work, I need to work out, I gotta make dinner, like all of those things, I gotta do that to survive. But this is something that I enjoy doing because it excites me. It gets my juices flowing. It makes me think outside of the box. It's a good way for me to spend my extra time, whether it be recording it or editing it or getting ready to drop it, creating all the extra content that goes with it. Like this is my creative outlet. And I think stopping making these videos, I don't think I realized how big of like an impact that was gonna have on kind of my mental space. And I think that's why I was like starting to get in a rut a little bit. So I noticed it, I recognized it, and I was like, I think it's time. I think it's time to start making videos again. So here we are. I urge all of you to, and I've talked about this before, like the importance of a hobby, the importance of a passion, right? Like, I think running can be a form of creativity. I think working on learning how to code can be a form of creativity. I think getting a license that you need to start a side business is a form of creativity. It's using your brain outside of your normal everyday box. That is creativity. And I just urge everyone to, if you feel like you're starting to get in a rut, or if you feel like you're bored with life, or you're just kind of on the merry-go-round, start thinking of how to get creative in your life, and don't tell yourself that you're not creative, because everyone is creative in their own way. And that took me a really long time. It was a huge reason why I took so long to start making these videos in the first place. And I've talked about this before, but aside from caring what other people think far too much, I always told myself I wasn't a creative person, and that I, wasn't gonna do content as good as everyone else, and da-da-da-da-da. Just start doing it. Whatever it is that you wanna get into, or that you wanna try out, or the hobby that you wanna start, just start doing it. You're more creative than you think, and I swear getting your juices flowing is the best way that I have found to get myself out of a rut. So here I am, getting myself out of a rut with you. I love making these videos so much. I love the process, but I also love hearing from y'all in the comments. Like, it just gets me going when I see someone comment something positive on one of my videos, and I like connect with y'all on something that I've said, and just it makes me happy. So here I am, I'm happy to be back. So I've been in Chicago for about a month and a half now, and like I said, making friends has been tough. But last weekend I went to ACL in Austin, and I got to hang out with all of my best girlfriends, and I haven't seen all of them together in months at this point. We all moved away this summer. So I went to that last weekend, and it literally rejuvenated me. I felt like it brought me back to life, and like reminded me the importance of finding friends, and like continuing to do the work to find the friends that I need to find in this city, because I love those girlfriends so much. And it just like, I remember leaving that trip, I was exhausted because I'm not 18 anymore, and quite frankly, I don't know if I have it in me to do music festivals anymore, which is crazy, but I was exhausted physically, but mentally I was like, okay, I'm good. Like, let's go back to life. Let's find me some friends. Let's get back into my routine. Like, I feel good again. I feel like I've got life breathed back into me. Austin was really, really good for me. It brought me back to life, brought me a lot of happiness, and I think it just reminded me to, if life feels like it's getting a little overwhelming and you kind of don't know why you're doing what you're doing anymore, or you just feel like you don't know which way to go, or like you may have made the wrong decision, whatever it may be, like, go see your people. Go see your family, go see your friends, go see the people that fill you up inside. It will bring you to that, it will bring you back to that level ground. It will bring you back to peace. It will give you a bit of clarity, and it will get you prepared to step back into life. And that's kind of how I felt coming back from that trip, was like, okay, I found my baseline again. I found my comfort zone again. Let's start working again. Let's start working to find friends again. Let's start working to get into my routine again. Like, let's start building this life, because I was reminded that like I still always have my people at the end of the day. I always have my family. I always have my best friends. I can do this. I can do this because I have those people behind me. So I think that's just a really big word of advice, is that like, if you're starting to feel lost or overwhelmed or whatever it may be, like, go find your people. Go back to your people, go back to your roots. It will fill you up inside, give you peace, give you clarity. I also kind of wanted to talk about, so like, if you've been keeping up with my channel or listening to my podcast, whatever it may be, then you know that I kind of started off making videos, and then I started creating podcast episodes. And that's essentially what my videos have been thus far on the channel, is just my video podcast. And then I would take the audio and post it to my podcast, whether it be Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast. And I think that's something I have realized during my time off from making these videos is that I actually enjoy making the videos a lot more than I do necessarily making podcast episodes. So I'm gonna focus my energy on YouTube moving forward. I think I'm gonna get back into the podcast space eventually, really focused on making podcast episodes. But for right now, I really wanna focus my energy on YouTube videos. I love the level of kind of creativity you can have on YouTube. You can really do whatever you want, talk about whatever you want. I also love the fact that it can be more than just me talking. It can be my life, it can be videos, it can be vlogs, it can be so much more. It can be lifestyle content. Like, it can be so much more than just me talking about a topic, and I really, really like that. I also love the challenge of learning to edit better. I wanna get way better at editing. I wanna do more vlogs. I wanna do more lifestyle. I want y'all to get to know me and my personality more, and I think that that comes through better on YouTube. So I really want to focus my energy here on YouTube with y'all. I also just love the level of interaction I can have with y'all, my viewers on YouTube, and I think that that will come in the podcast space as big as it's gotten, and that's just something that I love about this. I love hearing from y'all in the comments. I love interacting with y'all and having conversations with y'all and hearing your stories. I just think that it's a really, really cool element to this platform that doesn't necessarily come across in podcasts yet. So I'm gonna be super focused on this channel and making more fun, interactive, different styles of videos and just playing around and being creative. And I think that's really exciting for me. I may still post the audio to my podcast because I know some people just like to consume audio only content. It's just easier for them as they're walking on their walks or whatever it may be. So I may still post the audio to my podcast channel, but my focus is gonna be here on YouTube with y'all. More to come here. Stay updated on the channel. As always, please subscribe. I love it. I love hearing from y'all. Please drop some comments. I love, love, love talking to y'all in the comments. Some of my favorite comments have been on my 30 days, 6 months sober videos. Some of the stories y'all have dropped in there have just been like incredibly heartwarming to me. I feel like I've really connected with some of y'all, and I love that y'all are open enough to sharing your stories. I know that everyone has a story, and I would love for this channel to be a space where people feel comfortable sharing their stories. So that is what I'm going to focus on. This is where my energy is going to be. And on that note, my last kind of major life update to catch y'all up on in the last 2 months is October 1st was my 9 months alcohol free. I have not drank in 9 months. 9 months and 15 days. So 9.5 months I have not drank alcohol. And that is such an accomplishment to me. And it's one of those things where people ask me, you know, oh my God, how do you do it? 9.5 months, that's crazy. And I think the craziest part is that, like, the further I've gotten away from drinking, one, it's not even difficult anymore. I don't want it anymore. Like, I don't crave it. It doesn't bother me to be around it. I don't feel like I'm missing out without it. But also, this year has just been a year of monumental change in my life, and I like truly, truly, truly do not think that I would have made all the strides that I have made and been in the headspace that I am in and been as self-aware as I have been if I was still drinking and partying like I had been. So I am just so incredibly proud of my 9-month mark, and if you've been keeping up with my channel, then you know that this has kind of been a year-long challenge that I had with myself that I started at the beginning of the year. And now that I'm 9 months in, I go back and forth on whether I'm going to drink again when I hit that year mark. I didn't have an alcohol problem, so it's not like I don't need to drink. Like, it's not like I shouldn't ever drink again, but I just don't know if I want to. Like, life has been really, really good. Life is not always great. Like, life can suck sometimes, and it has this year for sure at times. But this year has been a monumental shift in my life, and I do attribute so much of that to not drinking anymore, especially the mental shift that I've had, the self-confidence that I've grown, the self-worth that I've grown. So much of that has to do with me not drinking, and I know that. And I think there's like a fear element to drinking again. I don't know that I ever want to meet that Maddie again. I don't know that I want the new people in my life here in Chicago to meet that Maddie again. She wasn't mean or aggressive or dangerous or anything like that. She's just not the best version of me. And I really, really like that living in a new city, everyone here is meeting the best version of me. And I think that that's really, really cool. The dog's dreaming, if you can hear that. Oh, so sweet. But yeah, I think I'm the best version of me right now, and I don't think I want to risk losing that. So I go back and forth on whether or not I'm gonna drink again. I go back and forth on whether or not it's worth it in my life, and I don't know that it is at this point in my life because I've become so comfortable with not doing it. But I will say that not drinking in a new city, not drinking trying to make friends is definitely difficult. It would be way easier to go out at night and get hammered and talk to every single girl in the bathroom and make 15 new friends in a night and just be the party girl that I used to be, because that was my thing. Everyone knew that like when I came out it was gonna be a good time and we were gonna get hammered and we were gonna have this wild night, da 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 da. That was like my thing, right? Whereas now that I don't drink, making new friends, like my thing is me. Like my thing is my personality, and I just am 100% me all the time, which I think is really, really cool. But also it can be a little exhausting. Sometimes, like, alcohol just makes it easy to socialize. Alcohol makes it easy to have this insane social stamina that I, quite frankly, don't necessarily have not drinking. I still go out, I still do all the things. I still stand by my statement that the key to being successful in not drinking is to not stop your life, to not stop your social life, to not completely derail and go into like a hole and lose kind of who you were. I think what has helped me be so successful at not drinking is that I have really tried to maintain my status quo and still go out and socialize and make new friends and do the things that I still enjoy doing. I just do them not drinking. And I think that if I had stopped that and let my social life kind of fall off or kind of really stop going out as a whole, I think that I would have started to resent not drinking and resent the fact that I'm 27 and not living that lifestyle anymore. And I think it's really cool that I still live that lifestyle to a degree. I just do it and I don't drink. And I think that that's really cool, and I think that it's a huge part of why I've been successful. But I'm really, really proud of 9 months no alcohol. I think that that's really, really cool, and I don't know. I want to pat myself on the back because I think that it's awesome, and I like I said, I don't think that I would be where I am in my life and have made the changes that I've made in my life and seen the results of the work that I've done if I had still been drinking. And so that's really, really cool, and I'm really, really proud of it, and I'm so happy for every single one of y'all that has commented on my alcohol-free videos and kind of shared your story, whether you're in the throes of trying to quit, whether you're kind of on the merry-go-round, on and off. I know how tough it can be, and I just commend everyone who wants to make that change in their life and is making the effort to do it, because I know that it's not easy, and it does get easier. That is all I have to say, is that time helps. Time makes it easier. The changes that you see in yourself, seeing the results of the work that you do on yourself makes it easier. And I'm just proud of everyone that's working on themselves, everyone that is making strides to be a better person, and I'm really proud of myself for kind of all of the things that have come to fruition this year, and I still have 3 months left to go in this year, and I'm excited to see what's gonna happen because I'm excited to be back making these videos. I think that this is gonna help me stay in a really good headspace. I am excited for kind of the strides that I'm making with making friends. It has not been easy, but I think I'm starting to get in a rhythm with it, and I'm excited to kind of share with y'all what that has looked like for me, so stay tuned for that video. But yeah, it's been a crazy 2 months. It's been a crazy 2023. So much has happened. I'm insanely proud of this year and the work that I've done and kind of everything that has come together from that work that I've done. And I'm really excited to be back in front of this camera with y'all. And as always, please be sure to comment, subscribe, like, share, do all of the things. I love hearing from y'all, and I'll be back next week.